We'll start taking some deep breaths all the way down into belly. Easy out. Feel the chest opening, feel the hips. So the idea that I was thinking of for today is regarding the word crutch and assistance. So often we're resistant to asking for help when we need it. And even the way that we use the word crutch, it's almost like it's a bad thing. It's like we say it in a sentence like, don't let yourself be this person's crutch. But a person that's actually using a crutch usually doesn't want to be using it. They want to get rid of them as soon as they can. They just need that temporary help while their body is going through a healing process. And so I wanted us to use different props today so that we can see how it's not a crutch, it's an assistance. Sometimes it's helping us get so much deeper than we could have gotten on our own. And so that's what we'll be playing with today, is using the wall, using blocks, and using the bolster and the floor as well, just to help us get really deep experiences in our bodies. So this first one, just notice how nice it is for the back to just be relaxing open for a little while. Even driving here, our chairs kind of scoop us inward. So this is kind of a counter stretch to that. Let's take 3 more deep belly breaths. And then let's start to slide the feet into a cobbler's pose shape. So feet come in to touch the soles of one another to each other. Let's slide the arms up and down like we're tracing a snow angel. Try to keep at least a finger in contact with the ground through that whole range. And just notice how the bolster is helping to arch us up so that at the very top of that snow angel, the deltoids and the pecs are getting a nice opening. It's really helpful if you synchronize your breath. Inhale as the arms go up. Exhale as they go back to.
Which ones are the deltoids?
The shoulders. Yeah,
The
so this right here would be, when you're stretching up, it should be the front part of the shoulders. Just a little bit. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, really good.
Yeah, for sure. Just take 1 more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And now we're going to get the back side of the deltoids with an eagle's arm shape. So take the right elbow under left first. Push the shoulders down away from ears. And then start to let the elbows lift up above the face any amount. The fingertips are going above the front of the head. Just get to that spot where the back of your shoulders now are stretching nicely. Another inhale. Exhale. Releasing the palm wrap, the elbows fall open 90 degrees to each side. Maybe elbows touch the ground, maybe not. But getting back into that pec stretch. And coming back into it, left elbow under this time. Shoulders push down, fingertips start to climb up. One more inhale. Exhale. Palms unwind, elbows open. Inhale. Exhale. And start to let yourself fall off of one side of the bolster. Push the bolster away. And we're on our back. Make sure one of your blocks is close by. We'll use it for a couple of assistance things for strengthening, and then another little stretch here before we head on to different positions. So we'll place the block inside of our feet. And with the inhale, the arms and legs travel away from one another. Exhale, switch the block to the hands, and then do the same thing. Inhale, block arm away from each other. Exhale, back up at the top, switch. So you don't have to go all the way down, but you can as long as you can keep low back connected with the earth. So that requires a lot of core engagement to keep that low back pressing down. Inhale, exhale. Go for another 5. 5. 4. 4. 3. 3. 2. Feel the core active, alive. 2. Last 1. And 1. Good. Grab block, place it on left side. Left elbow also holds it up. Push that side together. The right side, you touch elbow knee together, and then extend it. Good. Exhale, touch. Inhale, stretch. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And grab the block, switch it to right. Press. Left touch and stretch. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So now set the block under the feet at a medium height. Make sure it's a spot where it won't move if you start to press your feet into them. So it might be a little further than you think, or might be a little closer. But then we'll take 5 bridge poses, nice and slow with that extra height. So start with the tailbone, inhale, start to rise, nice and high. Exhale, roll back down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Grab the block, lift the hips up, and slide the block under the hips. You choose the height. It's a height where it's comfortable to maintain it for a while. Good. So leave the left foot where it is for a moment. Right heel slides forward. And feel how the front of the hip, the psoas muscle, gets popped out by this shape. So it's just holding the shape helps it. Also the nice back bend. Slide the right foot in, left heel out. Weight of the leg is relaxed so that the psoas isn't trying to contract to be in the shape. It's just opening and stretching. Okay. So as long as it's not uncomfortable, slide both heels forward now. Focus is more on the back at this moment. Another huge inhale. Exhale. Good. Get the feet in. Lift the hips up. Remove block. And then when we get the hips back to floor, you can either keep the feet down to rock the hips or take the knees in and rock around on the hips. Whatever feels most helpful for that sacral area. Just giving it a little massage by rocking.
Wait,
Yes, sorry, remove the block. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay.
I can't roll it.
Yeah, that's intense. Yeah, same. And let's just take an easy twist, arms spread open, knees fall to left. Look how nice that is on the back. Good. The knees rise, fall over to the right. Okay, so rise back up. Let's take our way up to a seated place. Okay, so legs are gonna just step out forward. And we're gonna try a little fort that can make it really comfortable to stretch the hamstrings. So place one block on each side, and then the bolster on top. A little fort, yeah. A little reminder to be a little child. Yeah, it's true. That's okay, you're almost there. Yeah, you got it. So test it out. See if you like where it's at. If you want to go deeper, the way that you go deeper is just slide it further forward. So you have to tilt even more at the rest. Yeah. This makes it really supported for the back to allow the legs to relax even. If you're at the point you still want even more, you can bump the height of the blocks down one notch to the middle. That'd be the next step to go just a little. That's the one, I think. Try to see how, by supporting ourselves, by being able to relax a little bit deeper like this, see if you can notice the breath able to relax even more. Deep full breaths into belly. One more huge belly breath in. Out. Rise up and start to slide the feet into cobbler's pose. You may need to adjust back to taller. You may need to scoot it closer. You'll just kind of play again with those similar themes, but find the perfect placement for the upper body support while the hips have that chance to just relax. By about this point, the inner thighs maybe can relax a little more. And take 3 more breaths. And whenever that third deep breath finishes, rise up. We'll scoot the props off to the side. And then lift the knees up, take a few windshield wipers planks. Okay, let's head to hands and knees. Include a couple of cat cows. The spine a chance to move deeper in the directions. Good. And so here back to neutral, get your blocks. We're going to use the blocks for camel's pose. So you can try the first camel with tall, but if you already know medium or small is a better height for camel, that's perfectly fine. Get it to a spot where early on in class, when your back's not quite as warm, it can still feel support. So then come up to your self-stacked over hips. Hands on the sacrum at first. Push the hips forward, leave them there. One hand at a time, maybe those to the blocks. Good. Maybe the other hand. If you need to bump them higher, that's fine. Good. Keep pushing the hips forward. Maybe the chin can lift. Good. Start to tuck the chin up. One hand to the sacrum and then the other. And just rest in the child pose for a moment. Next, let's stretch our feet. So let's go ahead and tuck them. And then this is when you don't have to spend all of the weight of your hips back, but if you're okay, great. If you're okay coming all the way up to high kneeling, that's fine. It's just if it starts to get intense. So try to go for a couple of good breaths, deep in the belly. Extra relaxed. You're okay for 3 more breaths. That's fine. If you need to come out early, that's okay. forward, roll or pound the feet. Point the toes, sit on that. And then we're gonna grab the right knee, lift it up. So if you need to make that easier on that joint that you really don't feel the stretch, you can lean further to the left. But if you feel it as is, that's fine. Switch it up. Gentle set it down, and a couple of wrist stretches after we relax the feet. So roll or pound. Okay, so the wrists start to rotate the thumbs outside. Maybe you can get middle fingers to come all the way to you. So if this is already stretching forearms, great. If you need more, it's having the hips back. Forward to release, up high for a moment, roll the wrists. Okay. Tuck the fingers down, put the backs of the hands down. And then same thing, you're probably already feeling it. If you happen to need more, you can lean back. You don't have to like push the whole weight of your upper body or into the ground. You kind of have your legs hold a little bit. And release up high, roll it out. We'll do another child's pose. So maybe you want the same height of blocks. Maybe you want it higher, lower. So if you want those blocks, set them in place. Camel's pose, that's the one. Have your hands on the sacrum, push forward, heart up. And maybe one hand, maybe both. Good. And keep pushing the hips forward. Good. Tuck the chin, rise up. And a child. Into a downward facing dog. Toes, lift the hips, pedal it out. Take a flow, shift forward to plank. And then chaturanga. Sphinx or cobra. And downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up to the sky. Hold it high for a moment. Step right foot in between hands, lower the back knee down. Sliding your blocks forward. We're going to be using them in two different ways for this pose. So first, set your hips as far forward as they can see. Hold there for a couple of breaths. Notice how the extra height with the blocks allows the chest to even push forward a little more. Then you can either stay here or reset the blocks further back, kind of like halfway down the shin. And then you would start with the same shape, pushing forward, but then the arms fall open and back. So it's like the full moon, but it's a little bit more supported. Have that extra support. Pushing my hips forward. Good.
I think I have to keep mine up.
A little closer? That's fine. That's fine. Different bodies work with the amount of flexibility you have with your back. Good. And relax. Take it into half splits. So hands on the floor is fine, hands on the block is fine, just whatever works. So that release in your back. Lift the foot behind you. Go up to downward facing dog. Stay or take a flow. Shift to plank, chaturanga, cobra, down dog. Left foot starts to lift up high. Stay for a moment. And step left foot into the hands, lower the back knee. So the first one is block under the hands, chest sinking forward. Back to yourself for a moment while you set your blocks in the place. Good. And then restart with the hips already going forward. Hands in that supported place. And relax. Beautiful. Release, half moon or half split. To downward facing dog. Optional flow if you'd like. Forward, head to standing forward fold. Top of mat. Inhale, rise. So block them at the top. The other one can be in front for a balancing thing in a moment if it's helpful. So we're starting off with some calf lifts. So step up onto the block. And we're going to be lifting our heels up and then dropping our heels, trying to get a little lower than where the block is. Good. And then up and down. Pushiness of the block does add challenge, so that's all a good thing. If you need to reset, that's okay. Maybe I just got a squishy block, I don't know. Go for another 5 when you're there. 4. 3, 2, 1. Good. And step the left foot back. You're dropping the right heel to the floor. So the foot is still lifted and then heel, yeah. And then here's where we'll start to go down. You may want block under a hand, or you may be able to touch hands to shin, block, or floor. We're getting into calf stretch, whatever you do to help stretch that calf. Yeah. Okay, roll the spine up. Switch the feet and drop back down. Leg under the knees, roll the spine. Have a block in each hand, and the feet are up at the top. Okay, so we're balancing the arms. Our arms start forward. And from here, we're lifting up the right knee. Right foot kicks forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Swivel the hands in, and then kick out to half, kind of like a pause spot for airplane arms with the warrior 3. Oops. Okay. And if you don't drop your block, undo that swivel of arms to go warrior 1. Hands just balancing the block. So you're gripping. That's why. That's okay. Well, having to the second side. You're like, why are you struggling so much? That's okay. That's okay. And then inhale and exhale, circle open warrior 2. Pulse in and out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now come to touch the blocks together. Lift the hands up overhead. Feel how the blocks help you to keep the arms in that shoulder distance. So try to squeeze into the block. Tilt forward just a little bit. Good. Lift back up. Switch your feet back to warrior 1. Squeeze. Warrior 3, trying to keep the blocks in that place. And lift the knee up. We're standing in front. Arms still right up high. 3, 2, 1. And step down. You can shake the arms for a moment. Yeah.
This is interesting. Imagine touching that whole thing with the weight.
It's like it doesn't take much. And it's just like, oh. Okay. Okay, so just starting off balance. Left knee up. Kicking 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Swivel in to go out. Airplane arms, warrior 3. And circle back in to step back. That's all good. I lost it the first time, so good. And opening up warrior 2. Pulse in, extend out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extension. And come to touch the blocks together in front of you. Squeeze into them. Lift the arms up above head. Good. The body starts to lean forward a little. And rise. Switch the feet to warrior 1. Squeezing into block. Warrior 3. And rise up. Bend the knee. Kicking forward. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Go ahead and relax the arms. We'll have the blocks here at the top. We'll use them in a little bit, but let's do a little sequence for our legs now while the arms get a little bit. So let's inhale, circle up high. Exhale, forward fold. Standing split, right foot lifts high. And land, warrior 1 legs. Release the arms up, inhale. Exhale, clasp hands together, bow forward. And release the hands to the floor. Front leg straightens. 3, and bends. 2, 1, hold straight. Good. The hands will plant another foot forward as we go back to standing splits. Land the big toes close to one another. And here the left foot rises, standing split. Warrior 1, softly lands, sweep the arms up. Clasp the hands, bow forward. The hands on the floor, each side of the front foot. And front leg extension 1, and bend. 2, bend. Last one, stay straight. Pump the hands forward, standing split. You drop the big toes close to one another, forward fold. And bend the knees, roll up. So then we'll come to stand on a block one more time. The other block can be in front of us. So this one, it's more of like the center of our foot. So the toes will be forward, the heels will be a little backward. And we're just using the block to help us try to get a really deep forward fold. So you'll start to lean forward, maybe use the block. If you'd like to start bumping the block height down once or twice, that's fine. If you get to the low height of block, Maybe touch fingers to floor. This makes us really, really reach. So just breathe here a little while. The prop supporting us. And this is what support can be. It doesn't have to be a crutch, but yet it's still an aid. It's a helpful thing that we couldn't do all by ourselves. 2 more breaths. And either roll up now or step off the block and then roll up. Good balance. Okay, so we're going to use a wall as we're wrapping up some of our last things. So you have to scoot all the way your mat up to the wall. This first one, we're going to have the bolster close to the wall. And then have your blocks close by too. So this is meant to be an assisted quad stretch. So you're stepping your right knee onto the bolster. The toes are going to be up the wall. If you're toward the front of the bolster, it's going to be easier on the quad. If you want to go deeper, you'll scoot the knee further back on the knee on the back of the bolster. Yeah, you got it. Okay. So using the blocks is what can help us either make it easier or harder. So hips forward makes it easier on the quad. Starting to get the hips back and maybe even rising hands to thigh would make it harder on the quad or deeper. Some people can even get their back to touch all the way to the wall, but don't feel like you have to force it. So yeah, yep, don't.
I feel it.
Yeah, hands to thigh is perfectly fine. Okay, yeah, you got. You're like, now that I'm up here, I can't get down. That's okay. Isn't it amazing? Yeah, so I'll just take a couple more breaths. Okay, so then we're heading to a pigeon pose with the front leg. You'll have to play with if you're deciding to keep the bolster with this back knee or not. But either way, the front foot starts to swivel to the side until we can set that knee down. If you're still feeling okay here, you can leave the foot on the bolster, the knee on the bolster, but scoot the front knee forward if you need to, maybe lower to elbows. Whatever we need to do to make sure the hips are opening. And because the leg is lifted, depending on your quad, you may still be in a nice stretch for that. One of those things, just accepting the help. I've had some people come to some of my classes and one person literally was describing themselves as prop resistant or something like that. They just like, I'm not using props. And it sounds like it's okay, that's fine. But also there's so many ways that the props can help us. Let's start to plant our hands. That right knee, we're going to scoot forward and then take a couple of movements. So maybe this is a child pose, maybe it's a down dog, maybe it's just rocking your hips around for feeling. Okay, now one more side, so have the blocks close to help us out, at least to start. This one would be the left knee on bolster. Maybe start off with it closer forward at the beginning. You start planting the right foot. And then if you want to scoot it back, that's okay. So you're welcome to find a starting spot. Maybe still leaning forward, hips forward. Maybe at some point the hips go back, hands on the knees. No need to get yourself balancing back to the wall, but if you want it, it is there. Good catch, it's okay. If you want to, you're welcome to just go to the pigeon. So start to heel toe the foot over. It's all good. And sleeping pigeon. More breaths. You're ready to come out, same types of recovery things, maybe hip circles. Will be that last segment of class, so stay here as long as it feels good. If there's last stretches you'd like, great. Eventually the Shavasana today can use the props if you'd like. It can use the wall if you'd like, just whatever would feel nice to you. Yeah, you go for it. Yep, go get the sandbag. You got it. Nothing wrong with that. Whew. Yeah, I can help you. Begin to deepen the inhales, the exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body. And to stretch out or take a fetal position. Especially with the legs up the wall with that variation, give it extra time for this fetal position, lots of blood being able to rush back into the legs. The body in that nice comforted shape. An easy 3 or 4 more good deep breaths before rising up. Here with hands at heart, we reconnect to that idea that it's okay to ask for help and to lean into help, knowing that just like this class, maybe it helps us go deeper in the strength side or in the deep flexibility side. And so with support, with this good connection we have with all of humanity, leaning into that a little bit more, with this to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.